Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a story that has haunted the shadows of history for centuries, a tale whispered in hushed tones from Parisian opera houses to the fog-laden streets of London. We're talking about the enigmatic and chilling legend of the Phantom. But where did this ghost story truly begin? Who first penned the tale of the tortured genius lurking beneath the stage, and how did it evolve into the global phenomenon we know today? Our journey starts not with a specter, but with a man. Gaston Leroux, a French journalist and author with a flair for the dramatic and a nose for a good story. Born in 1868, Leroux lived a life as adventurous as any of his fictional characters. He was a court reporter, a theater critic, and an international correspondent, traveling the world and witnessing firsthand the intrigue and mysteries of the early 20th century. It was this unique blend of experiences that gave him the perfect ingredients for his most famous creation. In 1909, while researching the archives of the Paris Opera, the magnificent Palais Garnier, Leroux stumbled upon a series of strange and unexplained events. He read about a mysterious fire, the bizarre death of a stagehand caused by a falling counterweight, and persistent rumors of a ghost who demanded a salary and his own private box, Box 5. Leroux's journalistic instincts kicked in. Was this just folklore, or was there a kernel of truth to these tales? He began to piece together the puzzle. He learned about a skeletal figure discovered in the catacombs beneath the opera house in the 1890s, a story that fired his imagination. He also drew inspiration from real-life events, like the tragic 1896 incident where a piece of the grand chandelier's counterweight fell, injuring several patrons. Leroux masterfully wove these historical threads together with his own brand of Gothic romance and suspense. The result was Le Fantôme de l'Opéra, first published as a serial in a Parisian newspaper between 1909 and 1910. Leroux presented his story not as pure fiction, but as a journalistic investigation, claiming to have uncovered the true story of the opera ghost. He even included footnotes and references to his sources, blurring the line between reality and fantasy, and lending his tale an incredible air of authenticity. This clever framing device made the story all the more terrifying and believable to its contemporary audience. In his novel, Leroux introduced us to Eric, a man born with a facial disfigurement so horrifying that he was forced to hide from the world. A genius in music, architecture, and even illusion, Eric built a secret lair in the labyrinthine cellars of the opera house. From there, he manipulates the staff, tutors the young soprano Christine Day, and falls desperately, obsessively in love with her. His love is a dangerous, possessive thing, a curse that brings terror and tragedy to all who encounter it. Initially, Leroux's novel wasn't a massive success. It was a moderately popular serialized story, but it was far from the blockbuster we think of today. The book's dark Gothic tone and its complex, morally ambiguous protagonist were perhaps a bit much for some readers at the time. Eric wasn't a simple villain. He was a tragic figure, a victim of society's cruelty whose capacity for great love was matched only by his capacity for great violence. So how did this French Gothic novel become a worldwide sensation? The first major step was its journey to the silver screen. In 1925, Universal Pictures released a silent film adaptation starring the legendary Lon Chaney, the Man of a Thousand Faces. Chaney's portrayal of the Phantom was revolutionary. He designed his own gruesome makeup, using wires to distort his nose and cheeks, creating an image so shocking that audiences reportedly fainted in their seats. The film was a colossal hit and cemented the Phantom as a horror icon. The story was adapted again and again, each version adding its own layer to the mythos. There were sound films, horror-tinged remakes, and even comedic takes. But the most significant transformation was yet to come. In the 1980s, a British composer named Andrew Lloyd Webber saw the potential for a grand romantic musical in Leroux's tale. He decided to shift the focus from horror to a tragic love story. Working with lyricists Charles Hart and Richard Stilgoe, Lloyd Webber created a sweeping operatic score that captured the passion, the mystery, and the heartbreak of the story. His musical, The Phantom of the Opera, opened in London's West End in 1986. It was an instant, unprecedented success. The soaring melodies, the lavish costumes, and the spectacular staging, including the famous falling chandelier, captivated audiences around the world. Lloyd Webber's version softened the Phantom's character, emphasizing his loneliness and his yearning for love and acceptance. He became less of a monster and more of a romantic anti-hero. The love triangle between the Phantom, Christine, and her handsome suitor Raoul became the emotional core of the show. Songs like The Music of the Night, All I Ask of You, and the powerful title theme became global anthems. The musical went on to Broadway in 1988, where it became the longest-running show in Broadway history, playing for over 35 years. It has been seen by hundreds of millions of people in dozens of countries and languages, generating billions of dollars in revenue. It's a cultural touchstone, a theatrical institution that has introduced generations of people to the story of the opera Ghost. And so, the curse of the Phantom is not just the curse of Eric's tragic existence, but also the spellbinding curse the story has cast over our collective imagination for more than a century. It's a tale that has been endlessly reinvented, shifting from a journalistic mystery to a silent horror film to a spectacular romantic musical. Each creator, from Gaston Leroux to Lon Chaney to Andrew Lloyd Webber, has seen a different facet of the Phantom's character: the monster, the genius, the lover, the ghost. It's a testament to the power of a great story, a story that explores our deepest fears about disfigurement and isolation, but also our most profound desires for love, beauty, and acceptance. It's a story born from a few strange occurrences in a Parisian opera house, and transformed by the imagination of a brilliant author and the vision of countless artists who followed. The Phantom lives on, not just in the cellars of the Palais Garnier, but in our hearts and minds, forever the angel of music. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the history of the Phantom. What's your favorite version of the story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the legends. We'll see you next time.